What is up, everyone? How's it going? Welcome to another live stream. I hope everyone is doing good. We'll wait for some people to come up on in here, and we're gonna hang out. We're gonna do typical Toyota talk, real estate stuff, Tirty John talk, whatever you guys want to talk about. Corey Detty's already in here. Dude, your last video with issues with the Tundra, doing pretty good, right? People love those videos, just like people enjoy seeing the bad, unfortunately, but it makes for good content. But what is up? Super, how's it going? How's it going, everyone? We'll wait for some more people to hop up in to the live stream. Lot of Land Cruiser news, though, today, and right before doing this live stream, the live stream was literally just going to be us talking about Land Cruiser stuff and other Toyota stuff and whatever else you guys want to talk about in the live stream. And literally, I don't know, an hour ago, something like that, the configurator, at least I was made aware that the configurator is live on Toyota's website. So I was like, we'll just do that with the live stream. I was like, no, I'll just make a video. But we will still go over it in the live stream today. So we'll let some more people get on up in here. Dylan, how's it going? Starting off with some questions. We'll let some more people get up in here. But Dylan says, is the Land Cruiser or 4Runner more off-road capable? I would say that this new Land Cruiser right now is a little bit more off-road capable than the 4Runner, just because it has a center locking diff, a rear locking diff, new generation of the crawl control and multi-terrain select, all that stuff. Better cameras if you're into off-roading with cameras. Power, good low-end torque. Just needs to be lifted up a little bit higher. That's it. Good news, though, my four-wheel drive is now repaired. Good to know. So if you guys are interested in a Tundra at all, Corey Detty has an SR Tundra that he's been working on his channel over there. Go ahead and check out his page to see some Canadian content. No worries, Dylan. All right, so what today's live stream is going to be, C-Boy, I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for the support. I appreciate that. How much does Toyota pay me to say it? Not enough, because I don't have a garage full of Toyotas. Toyota does not pay me any money. So there's different categories of people on Toyota. There's like influencers, right? People that you see sponsored by Toyota or includes paid promotion, and it's a picture of the Toyota or whatever. Those people actually get paid by Toyota. I do not. I'm an automotive journalist, so I can say whatever I want about Toyota. Like the fact that the first edition Land Cruiser should not be $75,000, okay? So I can say that freely because I am not under any sort of strict restrictions at all. That's why I talk crap about my Tundra for things that are bad about that, good, and everything. So if I got paid by Toyota, man, I'd be living the dream, bro. But all right, so everyone in here, we got like 55 people. We will go ahead and start the live stream up. I hope everyone is doing good. So if you guys are new to the live streams, we typically just talk and BS. I just throw people's questions up on the screen, and it's very low key. You can put the phone down and just listen if you really want, or watch if you want to watch. But we will, in this one, be showing the build and price tool, because the build and price tool is actually up from Toyota now. I just released the video like 10-15 minutes ago, something like that, and now we're doing the live stream. So that's probably horrible timing, but whatever, I don't care. I've already posted a video earlier today about the Land Cruiser. We typically do get a little bit behind on questions, so we get behind on questions. So if you guys really need a question answered, don't spam it. When I come back to the questions and start to catch up, if it's like super important, then go ahead and ask it again. So Christian says, what's up? Got a Camry XSE V6. Nice, dude. Got the last of the V6 before it was gone. Gray says, I honestly thought you had been paid. That's awesome. Thanks. Yeah, no, definitely not paid by Toyota. They do sponsor like the trips, right? Like they fly you out to the trips, but you are free to say whatever you want about their vehicle, talk to them to make it better and all that stuff. So if I wanted to pay my way, I could, but I mean, I just don't. Like, they pay for your flight, why would you not? But they don't physically pay me. And Corey Detty says, everyone hit that like button. I'd appreciate it if you guys do that. Are you gonna make it back out to Flagstaff for the Overland Expo this year in May? I would like to. There's not gonna be that many Toyota events this year, potentially, so that would be nice to do more overland trips and just depending with the new Tacoma that I get, I'm going to do a big road trip with that truck. Like, just depends on when I get that thing. But that may be a big amount of content and also my good bit of travel this year. We're going to answer questions. Jeff, Toyota Jeff up in here with $2. I appreciate it, Jeff. You are the best. Man, that's taken away from like your soda money, dude. Everyone say hello to Toyota Jeff. We're going to answer questions for like 5, 10, 20 minutes or something like that. If you guys are interested more in the Land Cruiser stuff, then you guys can come back in 20 minutes. But we'll just answer some questions, I feel like, for 20 minutes. Let people come in and out of here. And then in about 20, I keep repeating myself, we will go on into the configurator and build up some Land Cruisers and just look at some stuff. Kyle says, hey, John, sorry to ask about the Tundra with the Land Cruiser news. It's all good. We're asking and answering questions right now, even though you said this 2 minutes ago and I literally just said that, so it's all good. But I am buying a Tundra. Do you think that the Platinum is worth the $4,000 to $5,000 over a Limited? I 100% do. I think that the Limited is fine, but I would pick I would pick a Platinum all day. I'm not sure what $4,000 to $5,000 comes out to with financing, with how much it is right now. Maybe like an extra $22 or $20 for every $1,000 finance. So I mean, really, it's a difference of $80 and a month if that's like the math that it's supposed to be. But it just, I don't know. I feel like the Platinum is just such a nicer interior over the at least looks wise, right? They're still cheap materials. But I just feel like the Platinum is just such a better vehicle over the Limited interior. And I like the leather, and I just like the look of it and all the accent lighting and everything. Mark says, I've seen your video that you did, showed the XP with the 18-inch wheels on that SR5, or 18-inch wheels came with the 18-inch TRD wheels. Wait, what? I'm not sure if that's a question. Sorry, Mark. Guys, if you could proofread stuff, because I don't like proofread it before I throw it on the screen. I probably should, but that's just so much reading. Ryan says, what are the main differences between the Land Cruiser and Premium? We will go over that when we showcase the Land Cruiser, but mainly speakers. You get the 20-inch wheels if you want on it, I believe. It goes from Softech seats to leather seats, moonroof. Honestly, not a whole lot for $4,600. Maybe, other just different premium materials on the inside. Justin says, one day I would like to see an FJ build on the channel. If I was in my office, I would show you my vision board, but my vision board does have an FJ Cruiser on it. I'm just not sure what type of style of build I would want to do with it, whether it would be a rock crawler, but I don't know if I would have fun with a rock crawler, or if it would just be just a clean trail teams, like a 2014 in radiant red. I would love that as a fully restored FJ Cruiser, or just do like a Baja style one, like a pre-runner style FJ Cruiser. I don't know what type of build I would do. Ian says, hey, John, good evening, everyone. Do you know what the invoice for Land Cruiser is? I was hopeful to get better MPG numbers. I have no idea what invoice is going to be. That would be up to the dealerships to show that information, or whenever they get it. We just know normal MSRP. And MPG numbers, I mean, I see people complaining about the MPG numbers, and I get it, like for it to be a hybrid, right? But it's a brick. Like, it's literally a brick going through the air. So yeah, I mean, it could be better, which is nice. And Cordetti, bro, you do not have to do this. 10 Canadian. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Keep the content coming. Again, guys, if you're in the Tundra stuff, he has an SR Tundra that he is doing some content on over on his channel. And not to like push this, but if you guys do donate, like, it helps go up to the top. You guys definitely don't have to. You can just listen to me talk no matter what. You guys do not have to donate, but I do appreciate it. And all this money just goes right back into the channel and into the new Tacoma whenever it gets here. Bradley says, what's the update? Perfect segue. It's like I planned this. What is the update on your Tacoma? Mine got delayed today for a random inspection by a third party. Hearing something similar, ETA is now unknown. I'm gonna take a drink real quick. I have no idea, and I'm starting to get frustrated, and I am honestly looking for other avenues. So in the beginning, I had multiple dealerships that I had talked to to not secure a Tacoma, but like just get a vibe on their allocations and stuff. And those dealerships did follow up and say, hey, John, we have this coming in, this and that, or whatever. I was like, I got an early allocation for one. It's supposed to be built early January. Guys, I'm good. So basically, all those feelers that I had at the time, right, for multiple trucks potentially to come in, I just said, hey, let other people have them because I locked down a truck and it's a very early build of January 4th, and I'm okay. I appreciate it. Now here we are almost in March. So basically, the sway bar disconnect is what is stopping a lot of these trucks right now. Every single person that I've talked to that has a truck or had a truck coming in, or ones that have been delayed, seem to have also had the sway bar disconnect mechanism. So that part must be put onto the truck for it to be fully assembled and shipped. So when I was talking about it's cool that Toyota gives fully assembled trucks, well, right now I'm regretting saying that because my truck is sitting in Mexico. It's built, so somehow maybe they put that in later. I don't know. But my local dealership, Toyota Fort Walton, who I would consider doing stuff again with. They're under some new management and everything, really turning things around there and stuff in our local area, which is nice. They had 3 TRD off-roads coming in. One was supposed to be here in like 8 days, and 2 others that were supposed to be here in 12 days, I think they said. And one of them was an underground TRD off-road premium. I was like, oh, dang, I would like that one. I mean, it's not the solar octane, but underground still looks really, really good. So I was on the phone with Brian the other day, and we were going to work it out. And he's like, I am so sorry to tell you, but in my computer, it does not say 8 days anymore. It says to be determined. So I'm not sure what it is with TRD off-roads, or if it's just this batch of trucks, like all the early ones that were wholesaled, they all got to the dealerships and like they were all already on the move. And now maybe this second big batch of trucks is just sitting. So that was a very lengthy answer. And I know that we have a lot of questions now, which is crazy. And we're gonna spend about 20 minutes on questions and then go maybe 30 and then go into the configurator. But yeah, that is the long answer, Bradley, and it's very annoying. Super says, I think between the Land Cruiser 250 and the Sequoia in the US, the GX is the odd one out. To be honest, I think that the GX now has all the eyes on it, honestly. The Land Cruiser with certain pricing, it may seem good at like the 60s, but once you build up a Land Cruiser to a premium, I mean, depending on if it has more stuff than a Overtrail, right, or a premium GX, man, I don't know. Like it's gonna be hard to figure that out. And Gary says it's Gary, not Gray. Well, bro, you're missing an A in your name there, Gary. So maybe fix up the name, because yeah, it's just GRY. But I appreciate the correction. Alan says, my insurance decided to total the 4Runner. Gosh dang it. With only 64,000 miles on it after a hit and run accident. Do you know of the cargo space in the Land Cruiser? Yeah, dude. We will get into it tonight, but if you want to, go ahead and go over there now. On Toyota's website, it has the full spec sheets and it has all the dimensions of everything. So I didn't go into full detail of that in my build and price tool, but if you're over on Toyota's website, over at the configurator, you can see everything. The gas tank size of 17.9 gallons. Come on, Toyota. And just, yeah, so you can see everything over there right now. Some stuff, if it looks off, it may be because there's a typo maybe, just like the Land Cruiser, or just how the GX had a typo for its max miles per hour. So just take that with a grain of salt, but it should be pretty accurate. And then we have another star from Tim. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Tim says it just bought a 24 4Runner TRD off-road premium and underground. Oh, so good. Congrats. What is your suggestion for the best 2 to 2.5 inch leveling kit? It has no KDSS. Nice. So honestly, if you go over to Yoda Mafia's website, I have an affiliate link, but I don't have any discount codes with them, unfortunately. But on my YouTube, if you click the Yoda Mafia, it should take you over to them, and it helps me out. But they have an RTR kit. So it's the Bilstein RTR kit. It's Bilstein 5100s. Super cheap pre-assembled kit that they have. They sell volumes of those, and every person, like for an inexpensive kit, it's been great. It's anywhere from like 2 to 3 inches, I think, is the kit, and I believe you can put on there how heavy you want the springs if you plan on modifying your 4Runner at all. But yeah, over at Yoda Mafia, Bilstein 5100 kit, we put that on the old giveaway 4Runner that we did multiple years ago, and it was a very, very good riding kit for the price. If you're looking to spend a little bit more money, people have done the Icon kits. They like those. Some people don't like Icon because it may ride a little rough. Old Man Emu, I would, if you want to spend a little bit of money, like $3,000 to $4,000, I think is around the price, then Old Man Emu BP51 kit. I had that on my blue Tacoma. Probably one of the best kits that I've put on a vehicle. And then my second favorite is this Dobinson's kit that I have on the Tundra, the IMS kit, and I believe that they have that for the 5th gen as well. So budget, go with the Bilstein 5100 RTR kit that Yoda Mafia has, or a Dobinson's kit would be like the next level up, or also a Old Man Emu BP51 kit, and then I think they do have a cheaper kit under that, but that would just be like the top of the line. But Tim, I appreciate the 10. You are awesome. Thank you so, so much. All right, now I need to find out where we were. All right. I think we are on Brent, and if I miss a, no, we were on Brent. Perfect. For everyone just joining in, we're gonna do questions for about 15 more minutes or so, just get right to it about 30. And then we're gonna head over to Toyota's configurator and just kind of BS and talk about Land Cruiser a little bit. Brent said, my Tacoma off-road premium solar octane, I know literally your build, should be here early next month. Has your truck been built? So my truck has been built, and if you're still in here, you heard the whole spiel about my truck being delayed still. So I was told it was built. Weirdly, the dealership doesn't have a new VIN. They still only have the temporary VIN, but I was told it was built. Like they were notified that the truck was built, so I'm not 100% sure. I am looking for another truck just in case, but we shall see. Kay says, so $10,000 more for a Land Cruiser First Edition stamp and round headlights. I sent a configurator to Longo Toyota from your vid. Great work. Hey, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, technically it's like 5K more if you're really looking at the configurator, right? Or like 6K more, because you have to upgrade a normal Land Cruiser to the premium, but still $6,000 more, man. That's kind of crazy. But you are one of the first, and I'm very confident that the first editions will hold their value for a year. I feel like you could be in and out of a first edition and have it for a couple months or 6 months, whatever, for a year, and be pretty safe with that Land Cruiser, I hope. Or maybe it's just way too expensive that like it'll just come down to normal Land Cruiser pricing. I don't know, but I feel like those that buy a first edition will be pretty safe like within the first year of the Land Cruiser. Wyatt said, thoughts and specs on this new Land Cruiser. The dimensions don't seem right, which makes me question all the specs. Ooh, I didn't actually take a close look. I really only scrolled down to see what the gas tank was, just because a lot of people were asking, but I haven't looked at actual specs yet. Sash Varma, I'll just say your last name, Shashank, says, can I still get a 4Runner as of now? You can still buy a 2024 4Runner as of now. They should go up until, I mean, it depends on honestly when they bring out the 6th gen, whether it's going to be typical around September into November timeframe, or if they'll do like the Tacoma, push it into January. You may be able to get a 4Runner 5th gen up until December, potentially even January. Those Trail Hunter rims are perfect. The Trail Hunter rims look sick for sure. Tim also says oh, I got that one because that was a starred one. Appreciate it. Tim, Land Cruiser FJ is coming out this year. So I have seen some stuff about that. Is a smaller like crossover version of the Land Cruiser. And again, to answer Gary's question, if Toyota pays me, I wish they did, because they have a lot of vehicles coming if all of these rumors and everything are true, like the Stout, this new Land Cruiser, a new RAV4, the new 4Runner, all these, or the Land Cruiser FJ, and then Lexus products too. And then I've seen some videos from a couple of weeks ago, a couple people posted stuff about Toyota getting back into the game with sports cars, new MR2, new 86. There's gonna be a lot of stuff, guys, coming. It's kind of crazy if all of the rumors come true, right? Sportswagon says, on your video a few minutes ago, I think I saw that the Land Cruiser Premium package added lane keeping assist. Makes me wonder if it's no longer a base Toyota Safety Sense feature. Yeah, so I had that in the video, and then I edited it out because it seems strange, because that should be all part of Toyota Safety Sense 3.0. So I wasn't sure if that was a typo on their end or not, because if you look in the actual press release, it'll say all the safety features on the new Land Cruiser. Like at the very bottom, they put all the safety stuff at the bottom because I guess people don't want to read it, but it's all the way at the bottom, and it talks about all the Safety Sense stuff. So if you want to read the press release, those press releases should be pretty dialed. The specs and the configurator, they kind of are a little hit and miss for like a week, and you know, people at Toyota go through it. I make videos on it. Other people make videos on it. They start to see the errors. They're like, oh shit, we got to fix this and stuff. So there are some things that may be a little off on that configurator, but yeah. All right, I'm gonna skip a few questions, guys, because we do have a lot to get into. Corradetti's doing some stuff with his SR. I'm gonna skip a couple. Sorry, guys. I hate skipping them, but we have 135 people in here. I am so thankful for that. But there are a lot of questions. Joe says, hey, John, when do you think that the 4Runner redesign will be revealed? I'm going to do a full video on this, but April into May timeframe I'm going with, because we were seeing around the same type of vehicles, production camouflaged vehicles as the Tacoma around this time last year. So the fact that we're seeing a 4Runner and it's not all Frankenstein together, could be around April, May, June timeframe, I feel like, because we got the Tacoma, I think it was May into June was when the reveal for the Tacoma was. So it should be around that same time, hopefully, for the 4Runner as well. Skipping a couple, I appreciate it. No new signs of a Tacoma up in Canada either. Man, that's crazy. I mean, we can barely get them here in the United States, so maybe they just haven't made their way up there yet, man. Glass City says, I would either get a super cheap Land Cruiser or get the GX if I wanted all the options, but fully loaded TRD Pro stickers for $58. Can't wait to see the price of a 25. Yeah, so I think that honestly the Land Cruiser is kind of an indication of where the TRD Pro is going to fall. And also when we figure out what the Tacoma TRD Pro pricing is, hopefully in April when we drive them, man, I don't know. I'm thinking that the TRD Pro of the 4Runner is going to jump up 10 grand for sure. I mean, I really think so. But that being said, I really hope that the 4Runner stays in the 40s and then creeps into the 50s like it already has, right? I mean, 58 for a 4Runner now, that's 15 years old. I think that that is more of a slap in the face for a consumer than adding, I mean, it still sucks to spend more money, but adding 5 to 6 more grand to a price, but you get a whole new vehicle, right? That's how I personally see things when people are like, oh, it's so expensive. I'm like, yeah, dude, this 4Runner is expensive and it's 15 years old. Why are you not upset about that, you know? So it is crazy. It is crazy. Or like the tail end of the Tacoma. Like that thing was 9 years old, I think, at the end of it. And now the new truck came out. And yes, it's significantly more expensive, but it's a whole new truck. But they were selling the other truck for, in my opinion, like very expensive for a 9-year-old vehicle. Sam says, is there any delay? Oh, yes, I answered that. So if you guys are new and just popped in, my truck, it's been built, but I still have no idea where my Tacoma is. And I am looking at other avenues right now. I'm giving it really like one more week to get confirmation. And like, it sucks to wait, but I really like the solar octane and I like everything that the truck has on it. But at the same time, I'm almost to the point where I just need to find out whatever else is out there. Solid says, saw some guys saying that the gas tank size equals about 417 miles of range. So that may, because yes, the gas tank that I saw on Toyota's website for the Land Cruiser was 17.9. And this stuff is kind of frustrating, honestly. Like, this is frustrating. And I'm not sure if it's all the underpinnings of the TNGF and like how the Land Cruiser is with the gas tank and just the whole platform underneath, and they can only fit that big. I have no idea. But the fact that the Tundra is able to have, I mean, it is a truck and it's a big bed, but the fact that the Tundra is able to have upwards of a 32-gallon tank, and I get that it tows and stuff, I would love to have the Land Cruiser have 25 miles per gallon on the highway, but give me like a 25-gallon tank or something like that. Like the 4Runner, I think, has like a 22-gallon tank or 21 or 22-gallon tank. And I've seen 400 miles of range in this one before, like before I started putting everything on it. Like that was about my average when I did highway miles. It's like 395 to like 405. I would just love to see like a bigger framed Toyota vehicle. Like, yeah, cool. Thanks, Toyota. It gets better gas mileage, but like now my range should just be stupid long. And, you know, and so basically what's going to happen because of how conservative Toyota is with their fuel pumps when they do stuff is that truck is going to go through 14 gallons of gas and your light's going to come on. And it's going to feel like, I feel like it's going to feel like you're filling up that Land Cruiser a lot just because it's only going to fill up like 14 gallons at a time unless you really burn through those 3 gallons of reserve. Because like my Tundra, I have a 32-gallon tank on my Tundra. I think I've maybe filled it up one time to like 29 gallons. The rest of every other time I filled that truck up, it's been like 28, 27, something like that when the light's on. So it's going to feel like you're filling it up all the time. However, it will be nice that this Land Cruiser gets 25 when my Tundra only gets 15. But that's 37's life. Hey, new to the Toyota world, does lifting a Tundra void your warranty? So anything for any truck, any world that you're in, any manufacturer world, a dealership has to prove that something that you did to the vehicle caused something to fail. So like if you lift your truck and your power windows go out under warranty, they can't void your warranty for power windows, right? But if you lift your truck and your axle messes up and you put bigger tires on your truck, a dealership may be able to prove that your extra weight on that wheel made an axle fail or something like that. Gonna skip a couple more chats. I truly appreciate all you guys, so good. Thank you so much. The 4Runner is a 23-gallon tank. Gotcha. 4Runner is a 23-gallon tank. When I'm on a quarter of a tank, it takes about 15 to 16 gallons. Yeah, so yeah, that's sad. I don't fill my 4Runner up really anymore. My wife is usually the one driving the 4Runner a lot for real estate. So she's like, hey, it's at a quarter of a tank. You want me to fill it up? I'm like, yeah, because I ain't filling it up. You fill it up. Go ahead. So we're actually caught up on messages. So I thought that we were a little bit further behind. But Sammy says, hey, John, what is up, Sammy? Welcome into the live stream. Mr. Nice Guy says, I'm thinking about going for a Trail Hunter over the TRD Pro for the extra payload capacity. Which are you going for your first hybrid Tacoma? I think I'm going to go for the TRD Pro, honestly. The TRD Pro is just so cool, and I fell in love with it instantly during that Barrett-Jackson launch event, or the drive event that they had at Barrett-Jackson. My wife and I, we don't have kids. We have the dogs. They may not like the back seat of the Tacoma that much, but that would just be such a fun truck to have as a TRD Pro. I don't really know what I would do with it. I plan to do all the camping, overlanding, just pushing the limits of a normal Tacoma I-Force with this TRD off-road that I get. And that's also kind of why I'm okay with being patient with it, because I know I'm going to go balls to the walls on content with it, bringing back installs and all that stuff. We've been very Toyota news and reviews heavy for a while. But I think that bringing that Tacoma onto the channel and starting back up all the part installs again will be fun, or make a second channel for it. I don't 100% know yet. But once all that's done, in like 6 months worth of content or 8 months worth, however long we have that truck, and then get a TRD Pro, it's kind of like, well, what do we do? Do we do the same stuff all over again? Granted, there will be companies that make more aftermarket parts and stuff for the Tacoma during that time. But I just don't want to double the same content, you know, and then in 8 months or so, the new 4Runner will be out. So why get another Tacoma if a 4Runner is going to be out? I don't know. It's definitely going to be strategic. I would love to just have I don't even know if I would want a Tundra, maybe like a new general. I love having a full-size truck, but I don't know. It would probably be a Platinum Tundra, a TRD Pro 4Runner, a TRD Pro Tacoma, and a GX is like the dream garage, like just sitting there in like a little sports car. I think that would be very, very sweet. Scrolling back down, we're almost at 30 minutes to where we will go over to the Land Cruiser stuff. And if you guys can hear it, it's not me farting, it's this trackpad. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I heard it in my configurator video that I just did, but unfortunately I was talking about something important and it was like, Like you guys can hear that. So it's not me farting. It's this trackpad, I swear. Solid says, if you take a closer look at the steering wheel, a sensor monitor is added. Oh, that's probably what that is then. Yeah, so that's just the making sure that you're awake, and it's probably just additional stuff. But the normal Land Cruiser should have the lane keep assist at least with the radar cruise control, unless that is an additional feature to the radar cruise control. I'm not 100% sure. Jay says, get a 5th gen 4Runner at this point, John. Just wait for the TRD Pro Tacoma and build a 4Runner for now. Brother, I got my 5th gen. So I was thinking about that, though, if you're talking about a new 4Runner. But yeah, I was thinking about that. And in hindsight, I should have just went with my gut, because there was a Solar Octane TRD Pro 4Runner that I had a lead on. And it was going to be around the same time that I was getting, or was supposed to be getting, my Tacoma TRD off-road. I was like, I don't want to get a new 4Runner and build it up, and then like within 2 weeks or 3 weeks, get the Tacoma, and then like, John, what did you buy this 4Runner for? But I did want to do one last 5th gen build, and maybe we will just do one last 5th gen build, and maybe we will get to the point on this channel later this year where the viewers, you guys are super engaged, which you guys have been, which I freaking appreciate, but like maybe a little bit more engaged to the point where people don't just watch it like for content, and I don't know, maybe want to buy like patches or merchandise or something, some way to incentivize building up a vehicle to give it away. So that is on my mind. It's always on my mind. I know I talk about it all the time, but that was going to kind of be what the Solar Octane 4Runner was. And I was just like, I don't know if I want to swing it right now, because trying to move to Tampa, excuses, talked myself out of it and freaking regret it. So don't talk yourself out of stuff, because I regret it. Because in hindsight, I would have had that 4Runner for 3 months now, right? And the build would have been done. It would have been sick. And maybe I would have had patches for it, and one of you guys would have been flying down here right now to pick it up because you spent $20 on a patch, which is a premium, but you're, paying to hopefully win a 4Runner. So that's in my mind all the time, and maybe we'll do that in celebration of the 5th gen 4Runner going away. Maybe we'll do that. Corey Daddy says, did Westcott get a pre-production Tacoma from Toyota to use as an aftermarket test mule? So they've gotten some Tacomas from Temecula Valley Toyota. So the one that they were showcasing, that underground one, that one was from Temecula, and it's actually there in Temecula, California now at that dealership, completely done up by Westcott Designs. The roof rack, the pre-collar kit, all that stuff is all from Westcott Designs, and he's just getting in trucks left and right. That dude, Jeff messages me like once or twice a week. He's like, dude, I got this one coming in. He sends me photos. He's like so amped about it, which is just so cool. USPS Weather Services. That's a funny name. He says, I'd rather buy an ambulance than a Toyota with the, this is one of these people. All right, see you later, bro. Flying Dino says, is there a third row? There is not a third row in the Land Cruiser. It is only 2 rows here, but globally there is a third row. So we've been in here, and I appreciate it, Eddie. Maybe we will do that one day. If I may do a poll about it and see, just to feel people out, but like once there's actually something there in front of people, it may incentivize people more, because I did a patch in the past, and I still actually have a couple of them. I have a whole patch wall here. And I've been thinking about bringing it into my office for the whole background that I have in my office. But this was an old patch that I did, and it didn't come out like insanely good, but it was still cool because I live in Florida. So like it was kind of like a little Miami Vice kind of look and stuff, with the pink and the blue and everything. And then it has the 4Runner Cav blue, just kind of OG looking when we had the red rings and stuff on it. But it would be like some sort of raffle or something like that. I don't 100% know, and that's kind of like what I would love to do for it. But we shall see. And $20 like for a patch, like that's a premium, really. I think patches now, well, I don't know, dude, with inflation and everything. Like when I did patches, I was selling them for like $9, and I think I was only making $1 or $2 on the patch, which wasn't that much because it cost me like $6 all in, like for the patch and like to send it with stamps and everything. So I mean, at 20, if it's a good high quality patch, I mean the patch itself costs like 10 or something like that. So, and I would do charity as well. Sorry, this is for Eddie right here. I would do like a charity as well, like raise up enough money to like pay the vehicle, right? And then I make a little bit of profit because it's a business. And then I would pay money to like Florida veterans or something like that. I think that would be really cool. Jay says, sorry, bro, I meant the new 4Runner. But that does sound like a good idea to buy it. Oh, gotcha. I'll buy a couple of patches. Sweet. Yeah. No, 100% I am going to be getting a 6th Gen 4Runner. I will be pissed if the rear roll down window is not there, and that will be front and center in a lot of videos of mine, and we may not get invited back to Toyota events after that. I don't know. It's a staple of the 4Runner, but I will probably buy one. Just because the 6th Gen 4Runner is just going to be huge news, especially if Toyota doesn't mess it up. I think that it would be a really, really good thing. I actually like seeing this, that you guys would buy merch. So many YouTubers just do that, and like they build up an audience and they buy merch, but like, and I've bought merch from YouTubers that I really enjoy their content and stuff. There's just so many out there. I guess that you would just have to really enjoy the content, I guess. But I just don't have that mindset of really realizing like what's going on here. And I know I may be losing a couple of you right now, right? But my mindset right now is just still hasn't clicked, right? That Land Cruiser video that I put out this morning at freaking 7 a.m., 30,000 people watched. Like in my mind, it just doesn't click, you know? And I guess like, I don't want fame or anything like that, but I guess like just once you get to that point, like you just have natural followers that just enjoy your content and stuff. So maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll subtly like just put shop and there'll be a couple patches and stuff and we can just feel it out and see how stuff goes organically. Cause even for members, like I have memberships on this channel that start at like $1 a month, right? And then I think it's like $2 and $5, and then one is $10. I don't like advertise that at all. I mean, I almost have 100,000 subscribers. Like imagine if I just said, hey guys, I'll do $1. Like that would be stupid, like a month. And there's people that do it because they're very aggressive, like with their audience. But I don't feel like being aggressive. I don't know. I don't like that. But Neil, if I'm saying your name right, Neil, N-E-I-L-L, Neil, thanks for the content with $10 donation. See, like this is organic. I didn't say, hey guys, donate if you want to see your comment, right? I did say it does help bring it up to the top, but we're all caught up now. But Neil, freaking appreciate you, dude. Thank you so much. And everyone, appreciate the support so much. You guys are awesome. And Flying Dino, I will be making a video about this, but I'm estimating it'll be around April, May, June time frame. But I'll talk about all my reasonings and stuff for that in that video. David says, be pissed about the rear roll down window because I think it's bye-bye. Bro, I don't know. I'm team. If it is, we're sharpening our pitchforks and everything. Jones says, help explain the reason why a 2.4 liter engine for both the Land Cruiser and 4Runner decision. Why not differentiate? It would be cool. Oh, and my wife's in here now. Says, I'm in the same boat, Eddie. I think I want the GX more. Get out of here. Go get out of here. No, the GX is awesome. The whole reason I don't want the GX on the channel is because I will be at the standard of Lexus, and every other vehicle after that, I will just be looking for every imperfection, every wind noise, every creak, every this, every that. The Lexus is just so solid. But getting back to this, I was really hoping that the Land Cruiser was going to have the V6 that the Tundra had and the V6, basically the V6 that the GX had. And then honestly, I've accepted the fact that the 4Runner will be a 4-cylinder. So I don't know. I mean, I think the fact that the 4Runner will have the option for a hybrid maybe allows it to differentiate itself a little bit more than the Land Cruiser does, because the Land Cruiser, It's hybrid, no matter what. Like, it's hybrid and full-time four-wheel drive. The 4Runner will differentiate itself because you'll have a normal turbo, or you could get a hybrid, if the rumors are true. I don't know anything official yet, guys. Or rear-wheel drive, two-wheel drive like truck, or you could get a four-wheel drive, or probably the limited on the 4Runner, you could also get a full-time four-wheel drive. So there will be ways for the 4Runner to differentiate itself from the Land Cruiser, I feel. Not a whole lot powertrain-wise, but like there will for those, and price-wise too, right? If the 4Runner starts at $45, that's $10,000 cheaper than the Land Cruiser. And Rolo Cycle, team made in Japan. Guys, it's gonna be made in Japan. I just, like, let's manifest it. And team, roll down rear window. And he says, decision made, 100%, 100%. Would you ever consider taking the Land Cruiser and then the 4Runner? So Land Cruiser would be first to get one of those, and then definitely a 4Runner after that. And I don't want to wheel and deal vehicles, but I'll just feel out the vibe of you guys and how content is. Because like even the Tundra right now, like when I post Tundra stuff, it does well. It doesn't do insane like it did when I first got my very first Tundra. But people still do like to see the Tundra content. It just doesn't, do view numbers like the new Tacoma, new Land Cruiser stuff, and new 4Runner stuff, because that stuff is all new. So we shall see when everything goes down. All right, last couple questions, and we're gonna roll into the configurator. And I can't see comments, guys, when we go into the configurator. So if you guys start lighting up the comments, just keep in mind I can't see them. I'm only on my laptop right now. Eventually, we'll have a full freaking awesome live stream setup. But at this point, bro, I would just wait for a Pro or Trail Hunter. So I did think about that as well. And like, it sucks, man, because like I really want to see how the normal iForce engine is, because like how sick would it be if I was able to like get my freaking Tacoma like next week, and which it won't happen, god dang it, or in March, like the first week of March. And then when I go into the Toyota event in April to drive the hybrid, I had a full month ideally with a normal iForce Tacoma, and then I was able to drive an iForce Max to really see the difference. If I just wait for an iForce Max, like, yeah, it's cool and I got it and I would love it, but I don't know. Like, I really want to see how good the normal iForce is and then do the iForce Max. Wife says, well, ultimately it'll depend on what the viewers want to see. It's all about the viewers and their audience. That is very, very true. Whatever they want to see. But they've been liking everything, so they're making it difficult. Chris says, what made you actually hearing on delivery of Land Cruiser? So on the fourth gen, on the Land Cruiser Facebook page, there was some stuff going around today about trucks getting made in March and April, with estimated deliveries starting at around April timeframe. That's, I guess, what dealers were told, and that made its way to the Facebook page. And a couple last things. Neil says, I have a LX600. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Expensive, but very beautiful. It's amazing with a twin turbo, a V6. It's awesome. Not the best miles per gallon. I've gotten 14.9. Dude, that's such a heavy vehicle, though. The LX600, it definitely needs a hybrid version. I'm curious if it'll get better miles per gallon, or if it'll kind of be like the Sequoia and just do it for power. But the LX600, it needs a hybrid for sure. But man, that is such a nice vehicle. I love it. The only LX600 like I've had here was, well, I've had two. I had a Sport, and then I had like an executive one. And that executive one was just crazy. David feels, I feel a way about the first edition pricing, given the fact that the GX Over Trail Plus is a few thousand more. Yeah, so the GX Over Trail Plus is like 78 or 9. And it's kind of hard. Like if they did the first edition at 70, I would honestly be okay with it. Like even 70 is a little bit up there, but it's not as, like, it's $1,000 more-ish, like $1,500 more than a normal Land Cruiser with the premium package. But dude, 74? Oh my gosh. I mean, I guess if you're adding the moonroof and we're gonna add all this stuff up. We'll add it all up. Is it bigger than the 4Runner? The Land Cruiser is a little bit bigger than the 4Runner. And then Scott says, get a Sport. Not many of those truck videos, and it would be a project build anyways. There is, so the only sports around me and the only sports I've been seeing are two-wheel drive. I've almost gotten an SR5 too, but it was like close to $48,000. I'm not spending $48,000 on an SR5, but regardless, I just wanted to have four-wheel drive. If I give up on the TRD off-road, the truck that I buy, I still want it to be four-wheel drive, because when I go out to the West Coast and I off-road with all the cool dudes out there, I want to have a four-wheel drive truck. Unless I just wait and get a pre-runner. Like, that is also on my mind. I would love to have a pre-runner too. All right, last two. David is the last one. Because I keep saying it, and I see the view number going in and out, so people are probably just waiting for the Land Cruiser stuff. Code says, when do you think that we can purchase a 24 TRD Pro, and how much is it going to realistically cost? If you're talking about the Tacoma, dude, I'm thinking it's going to be like low to mid 60s, unfortunately. And April timeframe is when they should be, April-May timeframe is when they should be starting to get delivered to dealerships, I would hope. Because, I mean, that's when the drive event is, so it may be a month after that, so May at the earliest then, potentially. And then David says, I'm locked in, GX can't be ordered yet. Probably would be a month or so until available to order. Yeah, I've also put feelers out for the GX. And they kind of really take a priority to existing Lexus customers first. That's just how luxury brands are. I mean, look at Ferrari. Like, it's so hard to crack the Ferrari code. So that's kind of how Lexus is too. They take care of all previous people. Like, hey, do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this? And then they kind of then open up the floodgates to other people. Like, you'll see GXs on lots potentially in the future, right? But a lot of it is going to be first come, first serve with prior customers and stuff. But let's go into now. I know I said freaking 30 minutes and we're at 46. Guys, whatever time I say for these live streams, just disregard. Just say, John, you're a liar. That ain't happening. So we will go into the StreamYard. Now here, David, I'm going to hide your comment and then go down to where my face is small so we can see the whole screen. And now keep in mind, guys, I can't see comments. So if you guys donate or if you guys say anything, we're going to be really focused on this right now, so I appreciate it. So boom, Land Cruiser, let's learn more before that goes away. So if you guys are on Toyota's site, we can see everything Land Cruiser here. We got the specs, the gallery, features, trims, offers, and build. So we're going to go ahead and build first, get the good stuff out of the way. And this is what I just made that video on for you guys. So we have the 58 Land Cruiser, first edition. What I like about this is we get to see all the colors. Very cool, kind of new little, it's kind of a little hard to work, but if you grab this Land Cruiser, you could turn it all around, which is actually pretty cool. And then we have the interiors as well. Nice high quality photos. It says drag to rotate, but it's not allowing me to drag anything. And keep in mind, a lot of this stuff may be wonky right now, but we could see the cup holders back here. Not sure if that's actually going to make its way into a production version. We're going to go back to the truck. So the only three colors you can get for 58. I was kind of hoping that there was going to be more, but you just got black, meteor shower, and ice cap. I think of all these ones, man, like ice cap, I would kind of want ice cap, but this plastic up here in the front just does not do it for me on a white vehicle. I think meteor shower looked fine. And then also black. Like, but if you're gonna off-road it, maybe just get black and wrap the whole thing like a super cool color. But no insane options on this Land Cruiser. Exterior stuff here, like you could get the roof rack with it if you really want, or the Predator steps, or the side rails like the rock rails. But like the price of this 58 is going to be $58,000. I wonder if that's why they did it at that price, just shy of $58,000. We're gonna go into the Land Cruiser grade, which I would be all about this one to maybe get like one of the first to do content for you guys, but like they're doing the first editions first, so I have no idea, and with potential delays and all that stuff, when you could even really get like a 1958 or an actual Land Cruiser. But this one, like it's kind of expensive. I feel like, I mean, obviously it's $8,000 more than a 4Runner, but it's a bigger SUV, better powertrain, at least more power, soft tech seats still on the inside, and it's at 64, which being at 64, you're a couple $1,000s more, I think, than the GX, because I want to say the GX starts at about the same price, around 64 as well, 64 to 65. But like the overtrail on the GX is like 69, right? Like almost 70. So which again, these are expensive vehicles now, and the trail dust looks good, and also the heritage blue. But all the colors you can get on the normal Land Cruiser. The white looks good on this one, or this is windshield pearl. But I just love the rectangular headlights. Like, I think I'm team rectangular, Jesus, headlights, inspired from the FJ62s. I just really like those headlights. And then you also have the meteor shower. You have normal white and ice cap, and then underground. But again, heritage blue, it looks really good. And then the trail dust. But all the standard feature stuff, packages. So if you want to add the bigger wheels, you can and stuff. But we could just add the premium package here. And the premium package features the 14-inch JBL. You get the moonroof with it. You get the center console cool box. Oh, that's cool. Digital rear view mirror, the wireless charger, memory seats, and lane keep assist. And then also the front cross traffic alert. So I guess maybe that's not standard with Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, as one of the questions was. So now once we do that, right, I'm just adding everything to this. This price is at $68,395. And the interior of this Land Cruiser, honestly, guys, I wish I could move this all around and stuff, but the interior of the Land Cruiser, I feel weirdly seems a little bit more premium or like different textures than the GX. So I know that that's strange, and I haven't said this yet in a video, and I need to, but like all of this dashboard is just all soft touch. Everything, just the steering wheel is premium, a lot more soft touch on the doors and the center console. Just the whole layout of the Land Cruiser honestly seems a little bit more premium than the GX. So now that the fact that we're at 68, almost 69, and the overtrail starts at about this price, you get, aside from the engine, you get more features in the Land Cruiser, if that makes sense. So you're paying for the Lexus name and the quality, but I feel like you get more features on the Land Cruiser because you get that cool box, you get 3-zone climate control as well. I feel like you just get a couple more features standard on this Land Cruiser once you opt for the premium grade. And again, I'm not farting, it's the keypad if you guys hear that. But we're gonna add everything to this Land Cruiser. We're gonna add these rock rails to it. And for some reason, it's because we added the moonroof, so we can't do that, unfortunately. But I'm gonna add crossbars. So we can't add the roof rack, but we'll add the crossbars as well. And with the rock rails and everything, it brings it up close to $70,000. So now, compared to this, right, if we're adding all the first edition features with the rock rails, oh, that's cool. They actually got onto the, okay, so Toyota is definitely updating this because, oh wait, no, I guess they're still there. Oh, those are just normal steps. So now if you're looking at a premium Land Cruiser with every single option, really, it's close to $70,000. So looking at that price, then compared to when we change the trim here and go to the first edition is at 76, almost 78 with the destination, but you're getting these rock rails down here. You're getting the $1,200 roof rack, which whatever, you're getting the mud flaps and stuff, and you're getting one of the very first Land Cruisers. Nothing that we can freaking put on this thing at all, aside from just like random stuff. So nothing you can really put on this. 76,795 for the Land Cruiser first edition. Kind of crazy, guys, kind of crazy. So we'll catch back up on some comments real quick. What do you guys think about that? We'll also dive back into that too if you guys want to look over the specs, but some of you dudes in the comment section have been saying that the specs are off a little bit on that, but we will we'll look at that. But code 911 says, when do you think that we can purchase the 24? Oh, I already answered that one. Dylan says that the meteor shower color looks a lot like the incognito Lexus color. So if you're talking about just on the configurator, it does, but in person, not even like close. The meteor shower color is more of like a champagne gold kind of, with like flake in it. It's actually a really nice color. I actually really like it. Kind of more silvery gold, I guess. Whereas the Incognito is more of like a flat kind of Nardo gray look to it. Norman says, "Hey John, I just can't believe that the GX to me is a better buy than the LC250, Prado in other markets. Yep. Even though the GX may not be as luxurious in some cases compared to the Land Cruiser." And that's definitely something to take into consideration, right? The powertrain. Like, if you don't want any of the hybrid stuff, the powertrain is what people are going to buy the GX for. It's the same size on the inside as the Land Cruiser. Like, it's the same look and design to an extent. I do like the GX a little bit better. The only Land Cruiser, I don't know. I just need to see the Land Cruiser again and drive it for it to grow on me more. I've been so GX focused like the last month or so with all the content and stuff I've been making on GX that it's just really made a place in my heart and in my brain. So, but yeah, I mean, from what I remember, at least at the reveal almost a year ago in August of last year, the interior of the Land Cruiser just seemed more characteristic. That's like such horrible grammar. It just seemed to have more personality. The interior of the Land Cruiser just seemed to have a little bit more personality and just dimension to it and stuff. And I personally liked the 12.3 inch screen, how they just did it across and it wasn't a big 14 inch screen. I liked the interior of the Land Cruiser. If I could have the interior of the Land Cruiser and the exterior of the GX with the GX powertrain, perfect vehicle, like perfect vehicle. Wyatt said, do you think that the Tacoma iForce Max will actually get better miles per gallon than the Land Cruiser with the difference in rear-wheel drive versus full-time four-wheel drive? Guys, I need to start writing questions down and stuff that we've been talking about, because that is on my mind to make a video on. Because 4Runner pricing, like what can we expect from the 4Runner? Tacoma, MPG2, now that we have Land Cruiser stuff nice and early. And who knows, maybe Toyota will give us Tacoma stuff early. I don't know, but that would be pretty cool. So Tacoma hybrid MPG revisited, because I made a video on the hybrid MPG before, and honestly, like, I think I guessed pretty dang close to what this Land Cruiser is. I'm gonna need to rewatch that video and then make that video again, or a new one, now that we know the Land Cruiser stuff. And then also on my head too was 4Runner expectations, which I made, but I need to do a different way. MPG and price. Because the GX, the Land Cruiser, has given us a lot of information about future Toyota vehicles, honestly, like if we start to dissect it a little bit. Alan says, I look at the spec sheet in the cargo space. I think I need to get a GX for my needs. So, Alan, I think that the spec sheet is wrong, because the GX and the Land Cruiser, they pretty much have the same exact cargo space. The GX has a little bit more because it's a little bit flatter. You are losing maybe 4 inches of height in the Land Cruiser. But aside from that, it should be pretty dang close depth-wise. But the batteries do hang out back there, so you are losing a little bit of depth. But aside from that, it's not that much of a difference between the Land Cruiser and the GX. Richard says, now that the Land Cruiser is released, though, all Toyota models have entered the 2024 model year, except for the GR86. Really? I didn't know that. That's crazy. The GR86, I have heard, is not on the chopping block, but I've heard that from other YouTubers, not like people at Toyota, but like that the relationship between them and Subaru for the next one is potentially done, and that the GR86 may become like a hybrid sports car. I'm interested to see. Maybe they're just stopping it this year, or there's not much of a change. Ian says that my question is, what entertainment comes standard on the Land Cruiser? So it's going to be the smaller screen. So I thought that the bigger screen came standard. Did not plan to buy a $60,000 vehicle. So once you upgrade into the Land Cruiser grade, the 12.3 inch screen is standard. Not sure though if there will be a retrofittable way to take one from there, or if someone will create one that's bigger and it fits there. Because like for the Tundra, there's aftermarket companies that make the same 14-inch screen that you can replace the smaller 8-inch screen and put a 14-inch screen. It's not as perfect as Toyota OEM, but it is cool that you can do it. It's kind of the same thing that I'm going to be doing with the 4Runner. So talking about modifications, I have a box over there for the 4Runner that I should just install it this week. Actually, I don't really have any other things going on. For the 4Runner, that it looks OEM, but it's wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and all that stuff with the bigger screen. Bree says, now that the cargo space, Jesus Christ, I can't even see this. How is the cargo space of the Land Cruiser versus the 4Runner? Is it about the same, or does the LC have more space? So the Land Cruiser has more space, I believe. And once the specs are updated properly, I'm going to look at it after we answer a few questions. But the Land Cruiser, it's a little bit bigger than the 4Runner, so it should have more space. The tricky thing with the 4Runner is that like the seats fold all the way flat, and they calculate all that, but the Land Cruiser is taller than the 4Runner, it's wider than the 4Runner, but you do lose a little bit of space because of those batteries, but at the same time, it's no more space than like our cargo slide that we have in the 4Runner. Kodiax, what's up, man? Says, hey, John, finally saw a 24 Tacoma Tier D off-road. Looks good, but not enough to get rid of my 2020 Tier D off-road 6-speed manual. Yeah, so a lot of people that are seeing the Tacoma for the first time, they enjoy their looks, right? But you got a solid 3rd gen, man. You don't need to just hurry up and get rid of that and roll it into a 4th gen. The 4th gen will be here for, I don't even know, 6 years, 8 years, 9 years or so. Alan talking back to Bree, and then Harshi says, when do you think that we will have to change out the batteries in these new vehicles? With nickel metal hydride, I mean, they should be like 20, 25-year batteries, I think. I mean, it's a while for sure. That's why Toyota used these batteries, just because they're super reliable and like notoriously good. Crush Baseball says, I wish that you could get the Land Cruiser Premium package without the cool box. I actually agree with that. I didn't know that that was part of it. I thought that was another option because I hate losing console space. And a console's for junk. I don't know. You have a cooler in the back of the Land Cruiser, right? I 100% agree with this. And it could save money too, maybe $100, $1,000. I don't know what it would be. Jay Carroll says, I wonder what the wholesale pricing looks like on these new models, as in what they would actually cost dealers. Yeah, once that information gets out, that really helps negotiation power for sure for us. David says that the trunk space in the Land Cruiser reminds me of the space I had in my Prius Prime, a hump that killed some usability. So it's not horrible, honestly. Like, it raises up the loading floor a little bit, but it's not like the Sequoia, and that's the whole reason why they don't have 3 rows in the Land Cruiser for the United States, is because unfortunately we here with our EPA and emissions and stuff have to have lower displacement, but Toyota wanted to not just give us lower displacement engines, they wanted to make it powerful with this hybrid system, but unfortunately the batteries, they hang out in the back. So I'm very curious as to where the 4Runner is going to put its batteries. Maybe it'll be under the middle seats, but I'm not sure how they'll properly fold them in the 4Runner and stuff. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see the 4Runner. And speaking of that, McLaren says, predictions for the 6th gen 4Runner starting price now that the Land Cruiser is at 55. I think that the 4Runner is going to start at 45 to 46. Current 4Runner starts at 42. I think that the 4Runner will just get a minor bump, maybe none at all. I really hope that it's just like really none at all, but Toyota starts to like packages maybe make it a little bit more expensive. That's really where I see the 4Runner costing more, is with the packages. Crush Baseball says, I also saw people saying that it's easy to switch out the rectangular lights for the round lights. Have you heard anything about this? I would assume that it would be easy. I mean, you have the 58 and the LC going down the same and the normal Land Cruiser, you have them going down the same assembly line. So aftermarket companies like Alpharex right here, I guarantee you that them, Anzo, Spider, all these aftermarket companies, they'll just get a Land Cruiser and figure it out and figure out the mounting and stuff, and you would be able to take out your round headlights, let's say from your 58. If you want cooler rectangular ones, boom, put rectangular ones up in there. So the way Toyota does stuff and makes things easily modular between models, like to save money, it would make sense that you could easily swap, maybe with a couple of different hardware accessories for particular mounting areas. I don't see why they wouldn't hook right up. Both of them have DRLs. Both of them have low beams, high beams, LEDs. I don't see why that wouldn't be an issue. My Sequoia space is trash, but I do love the Sequoia. Yeah, I mean, luckily, like when we had our Sequoia, our dogs, they went back there one time and they were like, this is it. Like the 4Runner is our dog mobile. The dogs hated it. But we don't have kids, so like we weren't fighting that. Really, the back seats of the Sequoia for us, the whole time we had it, they stayed down, and we had the shelf back there. And yeah, it stunk for some stuff that you had to lift up a little bit higher, but like it was okay. But I don't know. I've seen this comment too. Toyota is creating too much competition amongst itself, and that is strange because while other companies and domestic companies, they get rid of a lot of their cars. And they just focus on crossovers and stuff. Toyota has a lot of everything, like size-wise. You know, they have the Corolla Cross, and then you step up to the RAV4, and then they have the Venza right now, which is like a more luxurious version of the RAV4, but that may be leaving for now a Crown SUV, which is like the same size as the Highlander, but it's only a 2-row. And then you have the Highlander, then you have a Grand Highlander, and that's just their crossovers. And now it's kind of going to be the same thing for their body on frame stuff. You're going to have a 4Runner that's going to be a super similar size to the Land Cruiser, and then you step up from that to the Sequoia, and I would only hope one day Toyota made an XL version of the Sequoia, and then whatever this Land Cruiser FJ rumor is too, that would slot before the 4Runner, but it may be a crossover. We're not sure yet. But yeah, it's crazy. To be completely honest, and I don't know if this should just be a short form video or make it like a long form video rant, but the Land Cruiser 250, that size, should have been the new 4Runner with completely different looks. Like I would not like those looks for a 4Runner, but the 250 should have been the 4Runner, and it and the GX were the same, just like they have been, right? The GX and the 4Runner have been the same, and then the Prado overseas and the Fortuner, like all of them have been like, around the same size and kind of vehicles. So really, they should have, and I don't work for Toyota, but they should have made the 4Runner what the Land Cruiser is. And when they brought the Land Cruiser back after its hiatus, because it left, they should have just brought it back as like a 2-door 70 series, but like evolved for our DOT standards and what we have in the United States, and just bring it back as maybe the top doesn't come off, but like all the windows will come down, and it just looks super, super retro. I used it on one of my thumbnails, that red one, in the past, and it looked like a modern 70s series, and it looked so sick. So then you have that as like a Jeep Bronco fighter, then you have the 4Runner, and then you have the Sequoia, and I feel like that would have been the better move. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the Land Cruiser does, and I may make a short video rant on that with that one red FJ. I don't know yet. Ian says, I saw a video out of Canada. A Toyota rep said that they are easily swapped out. Oh, well, then there you go. So if a Toyota rep in Canada said it, I would assume that it will be the same here for the States or anywhere for the 200 series. It just makes sense. If you guys haven't liked the video, shameless plug, if you guys could like it, I'd appreciate it. And David talking to Harshi. And then Bree, dude, are you listening to this whole live stream? My wife says that it seems like they want to dominate the market. They have an option for essentially everyone instead of someone not liking that. So that's very true too. So if you have an option for everyone, you could dominate the market. Maybe putting more feelers out there, right? You have something for everyone. That does make sense. But also from an R&D standpoint, and maybe that's why they're going to the same engine. So yeah, they have all these different vehicles, but it's all on the same platform. It's all the same engines, right? It's just different body panels and whatever. That doesn't cost them as much money as developing a whole vehicle. So if they develop that, that's why I've seen rumors and stuff that the 4Runner has been testing in the United States for years, right? I mean, because essentially it's the Tacoma powertrain. So all the stuff that they've been developing for Tacoma, they've also been developing for 4Runner and Land Cruiser. And now we're just seeing the 4Runner with its final shells and everything on it, and they're kind of feeling out how the vehicle performs under its own weight, its own power, its own styling, and all that. Kodiak says that my wife will go bat crazy if the new 4Runner loses the roll-down rear window. She will storm Toyota headquarters, no joke. I think we could get a lot of people together for that. That may be bad. Never mind. I'm not even going to go down that road. Harshie says, I have enough budget to get a 4Runner or a Land Cruiser. Which one should I get 2025? I'm Team 4Runner all day. I don't even know what the new 4Runner looks like yet, but I am a 4Runner fan, diehard 4Runner owner since I was 16 years old. I will always pick 4Runner over anything, unless they just completely botch it. But I don't see them doing that. Saw a cool box on the Land Cruiser for the first time on compare. Yeah, it stinks that it's there. If you're saying a bummer to it, Kay. But yeah, it takes up so much space. It's cool, but it takes up so much space. And then last couple questions, and we'll go back into the configurator. David says, okay, size-wise, I believe the 4Runner will be smaller wheelbase than the Land Cruiser, most likely. Wheelbase may be the same, but maybe just a tad bit more narrow, because Toyota did elongate the wheelbase of a lot of vehicles. I feel like they may do that just a little bit for the 4Runner for a little bit more stability. GX shows 40 cubic feet of cargo space, and the 4Runner has 47 behind the second row. Think they cannibalize cargo? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, because there is a lot more leg room in the GX, so maybe they did that, just cannibalize a little bit of the cargo space. Had a FJ and 2 4Runners, got a GX 460 and can't go back. See, that's what I'm talking about. The moment we get a GX in our driveway, I'm just, and like for long term, like us owning it, it's going to be hard to go back to vehicles that like should be at the same standard. But in my mind, I just got to say like, hey, this is a price point of this vehicle, this is a price point of that one. You have to expect some things. But that doesn't make sense, right? Because if a GX that I'm looking at is 69,000 or 70,000, and my Tundra out there was like 68,000, 70,000, right? That Tundra should be at the same standard for that price, but it's definitely not. Gunner says V6 4Runner over turbo 4Runners. We all know what's coming in 2025. Yes, a better driving 4Runner is what's coming. And I know that's unpopular to say, right? But it is true. And my thing, like my reply that I've been doing to a lot of people lately in the comments section, and I haven't seen like what their rebuttal was if people are like, oh, 4-cylinder, they should have kept the 6-cylinder or an 8 or the V8. I'm like, well, if bigger numbers are like concerning to you, then look at the 465 foot-pounds of torque that it has. So I mean, yeah, it sucks that it's going to a 4-cylinder, but like it's nothing new for Toyota. And yeah, it sucks if you have a PP competition going on that your engine's smaller, but like it's going to be a better driving vehicle, the 8-speed transmission or 10-speed, but I would assume that it would have the 8-speed like the Land Cruiser and the Taco. Dude, the Taco drives so good, and everyone that has test driven the Tacoma so far, and like all the Facebook pages that I see, and people that have bought them saying that this truck is dummy fast, and it's so good. Even like some people that I've watched their just dealership videos, and they're like, oh, my dealership let me drive it, and they were driving, and they're like, holy crap, I'm at 80 miles an hour, and they don't even know that they're going that fast because the truck just goes. So I'm excited. It sucks, yeah. Would I have loved the Tundra's engine in a brand new 4Runner? Yeah, but we're still getting a very good driving powertrain. Like, that's why I like the GX so much, just because it's that form factor and it has the Tundra powertrain, which I just really like the powertrain of the Tundra. It is dulled down a little bit, though, and more refined. I kind of like how the Tundra's a little harsh and, like, ready to go. Harshie says that there is a rumor that Toyota is taking Chevy's route and adding a lift from the factory. They are. Toyota has the TRD lift kit, but if you're talking about something else, then let me know. But they are doing the TRD lift kit on the Tundra, and they should be doing it also on the Tacoma, because I saw that at SEMA, but Toyota really hasn't mentioned anything about it yet. All right, so I'm in the background right now, guys, really quick, going to look up more stuff on the GX. Dude, I even see the GR80. Oh, yeah, I see it there. Yeah, that's the only one that still shows 2023. Everything else is 2024. You're right. All right. How do I... Okay. Going back here. I appreciate everyone hopping in today for the live stream. A lot of content today. It's been crazy. And even over on TikTok, too. Just posting a bunch of stuff over there. All right, so... Can you guys see? Did I bring you over there? I did. Okay. We're going to get rid of Harshy's stuff real quick. And, all right, so I'm not going to be looking at questions right now because we're going to be looking at some stuff, but we're going to go into the specs of the Land Cruiser, and we get to see all the different colors. Man, the Heritage Blue just looks so good. So we can build it. Oh, where's all specs? So see all specs right here. You guys can totally do this on your own. Because there's a lot here. I used to make videos about this, but there's just so much, and I missed some stuff, and then someone asked that question when they could see it themselves too. But there's just so much to dissect here and compare, and I'm not about making an hour video, but 22 miles per gallon city, 25 highway, and 23 combined. Now this little asterisk probably tells us, what do you tell us? That this is estimated ratings for the Land Cruiser 1958 four-wheel drive Land Cruiser. Oh, okay, and first edition. Your mileage may vary. Oh, so they do have some fuel stuff from the FDA there. So a lot of people were saying that they wanted this to be higher. I get it, but like it's a heavy vehicle and it's a freaking brick. Like it is the worst aerodynamic like modern vehicle aside from like a Land Rover Defender, and I don't even know what that miles per gallon is of that thing. Maybe it's more. Maybe that's why people say it sucks. But I mean, 25 miles per gallon on the highway, like just imagine if the 4Runner, like if this 4Runner, like tomorrow, like you guys just woke up and your 4Runner got 25 miles per gallon on the highway, everyone would be happy, right? Everyone would be happy. So this being a hybrid, it's not hybrid like Prius, it's hybrid. Literally two things working together, battery, gas, working together and making power. And it's more of a performance hybrid, which is very cool. I am all about performance hybrids. So all this stuff right here, right? This you guys can dissect a little bit further if you really want to, but this will give you a good idea of if you guys are looking for a normal 1958, but the Land Cruiser may have certain features in it that you like. This will show you right here what is standard with the little check mark and what is available. This little O over here, if you guys can see my cursor, can I make it bigger? Boom. Available or not available. So you cannot get the 12.3-inch screen in the 1958. It'll only come with a, that's for our gauge cluster. It'll only come with a 7-inch screen. All the other stuff is standard. And then, oh, this is cool. So power steering wheel standard. Everything is manual in the 1958. Power door locks, I would hope. Power tilting moonroof, which is an option on the normal Land Cruiser. All-weather floor liners, all this stuff comes standard. So, like, it stinks, you know, the price is getting up there with the Land Cruiser and the first edition, but you're getting all the features standard. Heated front seats, which is nice to still have in the 1958, even though it's cloth. And the cloth seating, guys, it's like a tweed, which I was told, like, in a video, like, John, that's a tweed material. I don't know what tweed is, but I learned and I looked it up. So it's very old school looking, which I kind of like. So we'll see what the production models are, because on the build and price tool, it said it was a black interior, but the ones that we looked at, it was kind of like a dark charcoal gray. So I am curious what production 1958s will look like. But yeah, these are just literally all the standard features and everything of all these vehicles. We get LED headlights and LED internal lights of the vehicle, which is sweet, revolutionary for Toyota, I know. And you get the HUD. Oh, you get a HUD on the first edition as well for that price, but it's also an option on the other Land Cruiser. And this is something that the GX doesn't have. These two things right here. So maybe keep that in mind, is a 2400 watt inverter you don't get on the GX, nor do you get 3-zone climate control on the Overtrail for some reason. The rear occupants on the Overtrail, I have no idea why. All the other GXs have it, I think, to my knowledge, but you don't have rear AC for the for the rear occupants for that. And then all this stuff is just the power liftgate standard on these two over here, not available on the normal 1958. Just all this stuff. I don't know why you would want 20-inch wheels on this Land Cruiser. Honestly, I don't think that that's going to be a very popular option. But to some, it may be. I don't see people really even keeping the wheels. They're not the nicest looking wheels. They're fine, but honestly, like Toyota's TRD wheels are some of their better wheels. Like the non-TRD wheels, they're just kind of a little lackluster, I guess. But let's go into we'll look at safety and convenience real quick because we were talking about that. So all of this stuff. So we got, the full, and I know I may lose some of you guys on the safety stuff, but 3-point seatbelts, panoramic view. Okay, so you get the full 360 camera view with that one. Blind spot monitoring, yeah. Cross traffic alert, yeah. Oh, so front cross traffic alert, that you get with your HUD thing going on, the safety exit stuff. Yeah, so I don't know what the other option was because all this safety stuff, digital display, panoramic view monitor, like all this safety stuff, it seems all standard with it. So I'm not 100% sure. Maybe that's just within the actual radar itself. So 5 seats. This is seat. Where's weights and capacities? How do we just see how much this car weighs? So these are the dimensions that someone was saying was a little bit off. Running ground clearance. Gross vehicle weight. So this thing is, that's cool. So, curb weight, 5,000. I was going to say, I don't know if taxes go off the GVWR or not, but no, that may just be like your payload and everything or with everything added to it. I'm not sure, but it's over, curb weight is 5,000 pounds. That's crazy. And then you guys can see right here too that our fuel tank, 18 gallons, man. I really wish that it was like 21 or so. And then all of our wheelbase and everything. So I'm going to like compare this to the 4Runner on my own. But I mean, you guys can see this here for the Land Cruiser. If you guys want to pull up the 4Runner on your own as well, you can totally do that. And then packages and options as well. So very cool that Toyota has all this stuff for us. Yeah, 245/70 R18s. It's kind of crazy, honestly, like that their MPGs that they gave us was the same across the board, because I thought that they were going to overinflate the MPGs based on these tiny little tires of the 1958, and then that these two would suffer a little bit, right? And that they would advertise this like they do for their trucks. Like, oh, the Tacoma gets this much miles per gallon. Yeah, well, that's a 2-wheel drive SR5 or something like that. But it's across the board that it's the same for the Land Cruiser and the first edition, which is pretty wild. Like I thought that they would just go based off of whatever the 58 was. All right, so last little bit of questions, and then we'll wrap up. I'm gonna see where we left off. I think it would be Alan right here. Alan says that they should take the Sequoia's Turbo V6 iForce Max and shove it into the 4Runner and call it a GR 4Runner. Dude, don't do me like this. That would be insane. That would be a rocket ship. That would be absolutely wild. The Smoke says, I want a 2025 4Runner with a Moldeuse attached to the hood. What is that? Is that a beard or something? KDSS makes a big difference. That as well. You are very true with that. The EKDSS and also the GX has a AVS suspension, the variable dampening suspension. Joey says that the only problem with losing the V6 in the 4Runner is that it will lose some sort of amount of towing capacity unless it gets a stronger drivetrain like the Tundra. What is the current 4Runner's towing? 4Runner towing. Because my thing is this, 4Runner towing capacity. No, not images. What the fluff, dude? Okay, so that right there, per Google, is saying that the 4Runner can tow up to 5,000 pounds when properly equipped. The Land Cruiser, 6,000 pounds. So you never know with the 4Runner, and I think that the Tacoma is upwards of 6,100 or 6,200, I think, for the Tacoma. So the 4Runner, it may be around 6,000 maybe for the hybrids, and then maybe 5,500 or right at 5,000, because if this thing can only tow 5,000, I don't see it going down less than that. So I wouldn't worry about that, Joey, because the Land Cruiser is 6,000 pounds. And then the GX, unless it's that particular TNGF platform, how they did those, the GX is at 9,000, which is, to me, completely unsafe for that short of a wheelbase of a vehicle. Can I get my pen on me? And then Joey also says, I have no desire to buy a 4Runner through or though with the 1794 Tundra in my sights. Heck yeah. Yeah, the Tundra, super nice. Okay, thank you, Steven. Sorry. I just went straight to Google. I didn't think that you guys knew that off the top of your head. And then yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I think everyone look at the legroom for specs being off. Yeah, so I think that specs are off. Toyota may need to relook at that and just see their specs. But yeah, I don't understand 36 inches for headroom. I don't know. I don't know how those specs go. For me, for automotive journalism, I like being as simple as possible and giving you guys the simple things as possible. If you guys want all the nitty gritty and all that stuff, there are amazing other creators that know stuff off the top of their head if you are into all of the specs. Like, and it's not because, you know, I like to do things half-ass and I don't want to be the best at it. I just don't find the need to tell you that, oh, it's blah, blah, blah inches of this. And if you put this, I don't care. Like, does this fit? Cool, it fits. Like, that's all I need it for. So that's just my thought process when it comes to certain things with that. AR, what is up? Says, what's up, John? I'm late to the party. Great videos lately. Keep up the good work. I will. Oh, a 50 cal. See, I knew that sounded familiar. 100%. Appreciate it. Yeah, dude, tons of content lately, man. Tons of content lately, and we're on a good roll right now, and it's great. Januaries are usually bad for creators, and a lot of creators fall off at the first of the year. Like, everyone's all juiced up, and then they just fall off because ad revenue is down. But like, if you don't care about the money and you do it because you like it, who gives a crap? Like, it's going good, and there's a lot of Toyota news and parts to install and stuff. And dude, if I get my Tacoma anytime soon, or a Tacoma anytime soon, like late February into March into April on this channel, guys, is just gonna be, it's gonna be nuts. Like, I see us hitting 100,000 subscribers by the end of April, maybe even March, just depending on how wild a lot of the Tacoma stuff is. And I got, like, I'm pretty hyped on the ideas I have. I just hope that they come true. Just need the truck. Mike says that my lease is about to be up on my 23 MDX. Should I wait for a 25 4Runner or just go for old, reliable, and underground? So the thing with that is, you could, if your lease is almost up, it's going to be a minute before this new 4Runner comes out. Even though we're going to be seeing it, it may be like the Tacoma into January, February, of next year before we see it. So I would say if you're pressed, like within like the next couple of months to get it, get old, reliable, and I don't think that the values will go down too much. Tacoma values are actually going down a little bit with this new one coming out. Granted, high interest rates don't help it. So maybe in a year, you know, interest rates will be lower. Not getting into politics, but different president may be in there and stuff, different ways and views of the world with different administrations and different people doing stuff, and it's a new year. Things could change, right? So things could change, rates could go down, economies could turn around. You never know 9 months from now or 8 months from now, whatever is going to happen whenever that new 4Runner comes out. So I'm always kind of like one of those, especially after I gave up on that one solar octane, like, just if you have a gut feeling, just go for it. Just go for the current one, right? And just enjoy it. And if it loses a little bit of value, it's not going to tank. It's a 4Runner. So it's not going to tank in value, you know, just because the new one comes out. And if you like the new one and it has everything you want, then maybe sell off that 4Runner to someone that's like, I don't want a 4-cylinder. And then boom, get the last of the 2024s, right? In underground. Just make sure if you can afford it, just get a premium. Just go all the way, or a Tier D Pro, because all you said was just in underground. You can get a Tier D Pro in underground. So if you can afford it, I would say get a Tier D Pro. Then you really won't lose money on your trade. That's like my my Tacoma out there, right? Like pretty much what the dealership is giving me, plus the tax savings. I'm from what I bought that Tacoma for, with the tax savings, if they still honor it, granted it's, you know, a couple months later from when I got the initial quote, but they said that they would still honor it, is like $1,000 more than like what I paid for that Tacoma, even in this economy of car market, even in this market of cars, I guess, whatever. That's just how Tier D Pros are. Tier D Pros hold their value. So if you're thinking about getting a 4Runner, and if you can afford the Tier D Pro, go ahead and do it. Kodiak says smaller 4-cylinder turbo engines work harder to produce more horsepower than a V6, hence the concern about longevity. Yeah, I mean, they work hard, but the thing that I liked about the Tacoma, when Craig went over it, and then also Sheldon Brown, I talked with him on the powertrain first, and then Craig I actually did the video with. They, even though it's just a 4-cylinder with turbos, just like the Tundra, they know that heat is the killer to turbos. So they did everything in their power to keep those turbos as cold as possible. You should see the piping on this truck for a midsize truck. The intercooler piping is massive. They're trying to feed so much just cool air and just keep the oils cool and everything of this turbocharger on this new truck. So will it be as reliable as the V6? Probably not, right? Or of the 4.0 V6? Probably not, but it's not just gonna, hope I don't eat my words, it's not gonna grenade in like 25,000 miles, okay? Hopefully not, unless there's bad castings like the Tundra. That's why these Tundras are just imploding. But per Ryan, if you guys are in our Tundra group, Ryan is just insane over there with all of his knowledge and just his fact sheets and everything. Of all these Tundras that have imploded on themselves, of all the Tundras that have been made, it's only 0.5%. So it's again, one of those things where it's crazy how bad news spreads like wildfire. One bad thing happens, it's the end of the world, right? So it's still 0.5%, which is still crazy of all the Tundras that have been made. All right, a few more questions. We've been on for about an hour and a half. If you guys want to leave a like before you head out, I would appreciate it. But we only have a few more questions, and it seems like the questions are slowing down. So usually we go an hour and a half to 2 hours, but if these questions slow down, then we can cut it early. But I appreciate everyone coming in here. I am buying the new Land Cruiser, not so much for the off-roading, but it would stand the banged up streets of LA. These potholes are no joke. Bro, isn't that why your gas is so expensive in California? To pay for the road tax, right? Freaking California. If you guys don't know, I grew up in San Diego, so I can talk crap on my state. But yeah, dude, when we took my Tundra, granted it was lifted and everything, E-load rated tires. I'll never do E-load rated tires on a half-ton truck again. I just don't see the point. When we took my Tundra from here to the West Coast and we got to California, those roads were so shitty. Like, they were so bad. I'm like, why are these roads so bad? There are some good roads and bad roads and stuff here and there, but I'm like, why are these roads so crappy? And I filled the truck up for like $5.80 a gallon. I'm like, what is the point of this? Cool, nice weather. Good job, California, but your roads and your gas is just so stupid. But yeah, the Land Cruiser, it should eat it up, right? It should eat it up, and even the GX2, man, like that with the active suspension or the EKDSS, maybe on that Overtrail, maybe that would be a good road warrior for the insane streets of LA. Charles says, I have my name in for the new 6th Gen 4Runner. Last 2 4Runners were both 4-cylinders. So you're all about the 4-cylinder 4Runner life. Yeah, so again, it's not nothing new to the 4Runner. I actually think, yeah, so no, that's a 2nd gen. So 1st gen had a 4Runner, a 4-cylinder with the 22 RE, which is one of like the best 4-cylinders ever. They carried that engine over to the second gen, and I think that there was a 4-cylinder engine in the third gen as well. So really, like the only, but not for that long, because the 3.4 was just so good in the third gen. But I think though, like for the fourth gen and the fifth gen, those were the only two gens without a 4-cylinder. And granted, you know, those have been around for a while, since 2004. So it's been a minute since we've not seen a 4-cylinder in a 4Runner, but it's nothing new. It's nothing new. No More Games says, I've sold my 2020 Army Green Cry to the dealer for $3,000 more than what I bought it for after tax, title, and license. You can't go wrong with the TRD Pro. 100%. So yeah, if you guys are thinking about a 5th gen 4Runner, but also kind of want a 6th gen, but you need a vehicle right now, if you can find a TRD Pro at or under MSRP, they are out there. Don't say no, they're not. They're out there. You got to look. I would definitely pick up a TRD Pro for sure, because yeah, they don't lose their value at all. Mike says, are you daily driving your Tundra instead of your 4Runner? Is that why the 4Runner is in the garage? 4Runner is in the garage because it's my baby. This 4Runner has been garage kept since, I'm not going to say the day I bought it because we lived in an apartment, but we were buying a house at the same time, which is whatever. Don't do that if you're buying stuff. As long as you keep your debt to income the same, you should be okay. But our lender was like, oh, why'd you do that? But it was fine. It was actually better because our payments went down. But no, it's not because it's my daily. It's because I care about it, I guess, and I have enough garage space for it. I actually should have the Tacoma in here right next to it, but I'm getting rid of it, and it's just been outside and it's too dirty. I just need to clean it up and stuff. But no, the 4Runner has been in the garage. It has spent some weeks outside of the garage as fuel with some stuff. So like it has had outside time, but of its life, probably 95% of the nights of its life, it has spent in the garage. So always try to keep the 4Runner in the garage. Not that the elements, well, I mean, we have hurricanes here, but not that the elements daily are horrible for the 4Runner. But I just always try to keep it in the garage. But to answer your question, I do drive my Tundra more than the 4Runner. I just enjoy the powertrain more of that truck. And now that the window is fixed, the wind noise still sucks on the Tundra, but I've just grown to like some of the newer features on the trucks. I like the wireless CarPlay. I start the truck up, it automatically loads up the CarPlay. I press my thing to listen to my music. My maps comes up automatically. The JBL sound system in that truck with the amplifier from Beat Sonic, dude, it sounds so good. The power is nice on the truck. I just enjoy driving the truck more. The wireless or the keyless entry, getting in and out of the truck, like my wife laughs at me all the time because she drives the 4Runner, so she's used to it. But like every time the 4Runner's locked and I walk up to it, I pull the door, I'm like, God dang it, and I get the keys, and I get inside and I press a button that's not there. I'm like, God dang it, and I have to put the key in it and freaking turn it. And it's not an act. It's just I'm so used to just with the Tundra just walking up to it, open, sit down, press a button, and it works. So Cordetti says, within regards to turbos, on the new 2.4 liter turbo, so it's only one turbo. I've seen that a couple times. Unfortunately, it's only a single turbo. But anyways, it will be interesting to see, and not that I'm nitpicking, but it's not a V4 also, it's an inline 4. Just so you guys, if you're commenting on other people's stuff in the future, I'm doing this for you. I'm not talking crap. I'm doing this for you. Just to have credibility, if you put V4, people are going to be like, well, you don't even know what you're talking about. So it's an inline 4, just so you guys know. Anyways, Cordetti says, in regards to the turbos on the new 2.4 liter, it will be interesting to see how the extreme cold weather affects the motor. When ambient temperatures hit negative 50 at 70 miles an hour, it may freeze them. I don't know, dude. Maybe the engine will be hot enough. I mean, it depends on how cold Toyota made it, right? But like, there's been turbos up in Alaska, and granted they're diesels, and it's a different type of fuel. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. If anyone's gonna figure it out, it's you guys up there in Canada. It's not gonna be me in Florida. All right. AR says, yeah, we got mainly the weather going on for us down here. I'll go to Costco for Phillips. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the weather, and it's been warming up. I think my watch is dead now. Yeah, it's dead. But we're finally like mid 60s up in my area of the Panhandle. That's why I want to go a little bit further south, because they've been having some 75-degree days already. But with this El Nino this year and like all these bad storms that have been hitting up north and just these cool little jet streams, it's been freaking like consistently cold here for Florida. And I want to see in the comments like blah, 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 blah. Dude, I'm used to 75, 80. So 50 to 40 is cold when you're used to it being that warm. Have you asked any rep about whether or not we can use the 2400 watt inverter with the truck turned off? I have not. And if you're the one that commented that on Instagram, I have someone else on Instagram asking me that same question. So I'm in a gut feeling that I think the truck has to be on, but I will get that question answered while we are at the drive event in April. Taylor says, looking for a 22 TRD Pro 4Runner versus a 2020 TRD Pro Sequoia. Thoughts? Similar in price. Sequoia has a V8, but way less features. This may be an unpopular opinion, but I hate the interior of the last generation Sequoia. Size-wise, it's great. It's huge inside, especially the back seat and the cargo area. But the whole dash and just everything about it is just so cheap and so plasticky. No offense, if someone has a second gen Sequoia in here or 2.5 gen, I'm not making fun of it. I'm just saying, compared to a 4Runner, there is a lot of plastic materials up in that Sequoia. And if I was given the option between the two, I would probably pick a 4Runner. Just for how my family is with the dogs, they love the 4Runner. The Sequoia would be great too because it does have a rear roll down window as well. The V8's nice, so like if you need that Sequoia to tow or you're doing truck stuff kind of with it and need a bigger thing for your family, then get the Sequoia. But like with literally kind of no context here aside from price, I would probably go 4Runner. It's a little bit newer. Maybe it has less miles. And I feel like it would hold its value a little bit more than the Sequoia will over time. Michael says, I wish that Toyota and more manufacturers had a built-in dash cam in Sentry mode with existing cameras like Tesla does. That, to be completely honest, I see... Dude, allergies right now and pollen, that's what's killing me. I see how rear view cameras are a standard thing now. I honestly see dash cams becoming a standard thing in however many years for new vehicles. I feel like that will be standard things for new vehicles, and people may not like it because it may be a privacy thing, right? If it shows the inside of the vehicle, but if it's going outwards, and maybe that's why it's not a standard thing yet for privacy stuff, but there's so many accidents every day, and dash cams just save people. Like so many insurance scammers too, like trying to back up into people saying, oh, it's your fault. It's like, dude, I got you on camera. It's like, oh, no. So it may be a privacy thing because of audio and stuff like that, but I think that the Sentry mode stuff is really cool. Car's always awake, just always seeing what's going on around it. And it's not just for like vehicle theft, it's also for like your house too. Like if you have your car in the driveway and there's an intruder or something like that, like having extra cameras on your car, not just all the cameras around your house and stuff, but having cameras on the car too, very nice. Turbos are no problem here in Anchorage, Alaska. I know it's not apples to apples, but WRX and Outbacks all over. That is true. That is actually true. When I was up in Alaska, there were tons of Subarus. They were all over the place. Lenny says, hey, John, just jumping on. So thinking this question may have been asked. No worries, dude. All good. But wondering when/where a GX 550 Overtrail, not Plus, becomes a better buy for you than a Land Cruiser. To be honest, right away. Like, honestly, right away. Because the Land Cruiser I think I would get, it would probably just be a normal Land Cruiser, and that is like 63, 64. And the GX I think is like $569, ain't it? So like for me, if I'm financing, like, yeah, $5,000 is a lot over time, but for me, for content and stuff, like $5,000, like if I'm keeping the vehicle for 6 months to a year, I'm not gonna like pay that over time or really see that. So for me, I think that the GX just makes so much more sense, like just out of the gate, honestly, like if you're looking at features. And I saw that a lot in the comments on the Land Cruiser video that I posted earlier this morning. A ton of the comments were, I'm just gonna get the GX. Like I'm gonna get the GX. So the GX price, like I was honestly super shocked with how decently priced the GX was. It wasn't that much more than the outgoing GX, and it was really solid, except for the Luxury and Luxury Plus. Those were just stupid expensive. But like the Overtrail, not insane, you know, for what you get out of it. And again, going back to the powertrain too, like it's not just price, it's the powertrain. Not a lot of people are gonna want the hybrid. That V6 is just, it's just good. It's just really, really good to drive. Pro Outdoors says, going through the specs and comparing it now to the 4Runner. Gotcha. Heck yeah. Let me know if anything stands out to you. And keep in mind that the specs may be a little bit off. There's been individuals inside the comments here on the live stream that said some of those specs seem a little bit fishy. So Gunner says, the Subaru. The Subaru. I like zone out sometimes when we're just talking and BSing and stuff. Get Wrecked says, have you seen that the headlights have been confirmed to be swappable between round and rectangular? Yeah, so someone just commented. So someone asked that question, and then somebody commented that apparently a rep in Canada said, oh, Jesus Christ, nice to see it confirmed from the Canada rep. Yes, I did see that then. Yes. AR says, on that question about cameras, the GX appears to have a scan and track on driver's face. So does the LC? Yeah, the Land Cruiser has that as well for a feature. So I guess if they have a camera to track your eyes and stuff and microphones in the car for Bluetooth, what difference is a camera at that point, right? I mean, really, if you're like, not a conspiracy theorist, but if you're like, oh, I don't want them listening to me, or I don't want that standard in a vehicle. Bro, it's your vehicle. Like, it's your camera for your defense and stuff, right? Between other people and stuff. And if anything in the car is hackable, that like freaking eye thing and your microphone that your Bluetooth phone is hooked up to is hackable. It's the same thing. So yeah, that's also in the Land Cruiser though, to answer your question, AR. Shorty the Frenchie, how's it going? John, when will the hybrid Tacoma be available? April. We are doing the drive event in April, so hopefully sometime around that. Land Cruiser really threw me for a curve today, guys, because typically the whole time I've been doing Toyota journalism and stuff and this cool, awesome job, we've gotten all this information like during the drive events. So, before the drive event, but we were able to talk about it during the drive event and then give you guys all the information when the embargo lifts. Today, it was just there. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So very strange, but availability, I would feel like maybe after, unless they start to roll out the Tacomas in March, but they're still backed up with Tacomas. So I don't know. I was told that Tacomas will be around April, May of this year. Like that, they said spring. So spring goes all the way up until June. So they have up until June to hit on their mark that they told us of the hybrids will be out in spring. Even when you looked at the Land Cruiser stuff online, all it says is early spring. So early spring starts in March, April. Mid-spring is like April, late April, May, and then late spring is June-ish. So hopefully we see the Land Cruisers March, April, and then the Tacoma should follow suit pretty quickly. Cordetti says, reason I asked that is because my Chevy Trax turbo froze last winter at -50 on a 5-hour road trip. The problem was with the frozen intercooler. TSB later put out in a bulletin to use a winter front. Well, not to be that guy, it's a Chevy. but no, that does suck. And that's a legitimate concern too, especially when you're driving the vehicle and it relies on that stuff. But yeah, I'm sure that I mean, the truck is developed up in Michigan and stuff, and the powertrain team is out of Michigan. They test these trucks in Michigan, Japan. They do stuff there, Arizona. So I feel like within the United States, I mean, maybe they even do some stuff in Canada that we don't know about. But in the United States, I mean, we have pretty much almost all of the environmental like dangers, I guess, for a truck, like hills in Colorado, like going up the Ike and stuff. Like car manufacturers, they test that giant hill as well. Harshness of winter, harshness of summer, off-roading these vehicles. And even like Sheldon Brown said for the Tacoma too, they literally took that engine on an engine stand, started it up, and for their benchmarking, put it sideways like this, and like let the oil just like go. And they just ran that engine until it died, and just took all the information from that, made it better, did it again. Same with just flooring the crap out of the engine in a heat-soaked environment. They did that as well. So I mean, we'll see for this Tacoma. I mean, it's all I guess whatever the masses get, right? Because they can only do so much as engineers with however many trucks they have. But once there's 2, 3, 500,000 trucks out there, that's when we start to find issues, right? Just like the Tundra. Because the Tundra, they were like, oh, all this stuff is bulletproof. It's a big duty truck, and seats crack. Like a plastic seat cracks, you know? So it all depends like when all this stuff gets out there to the masses. Which the seat thing is just hilarious because, and I feel so bad for Toyota, but it is what it is. But like that seat with, they did like an article, and it was so bad of timing. With the Million Mile Tundra, they like took the seat and saw that the seat foam and everything was still good. And they talked about how they took inspiration from that for the Tundra seats, and now like people's seats, it was bad timing. Anyways, Lenny, exactly what I was thinking. 5K is largely irrelevant at that price point. Like, it sucks to say, but that is very true. With the better powertrain, thanks again. No worries, dude. All right. We got a couple more comments, and then we're almost at 2 hours. So you guys did put some good comments in towards the end and stuff, and kept the live stream going. I appreciate it. B-Surf Chillin says, how about a used Sequoia 2023? More power than the GX Overtrail, nearly same price. So I own the Sequoia. I'm not sure whenever you joined the channel, but I had a Sequoia Tier D Pro, and with the brief driving of the GX that I did for $12,000 cheaper or $11,000 cheaper, right? Well, you said used Sequoia, so it depends on which Sequoia you get. But I'm comparing it to a Tier D Pro because I had a Tier D Pro. Tier D Pro compared to an Overtrail GX, I would buy the GX every single time over the Sequoia. I would buy every single time over the Sequoia. Not that the Sequoia is trash and it's horrible. It's fine. It's just fine. Like, it's not like the most revolutionary vehicle ever. It's fine. It's fine. But the GX is just so much better. The fit and finish, the materials used, like barely any plastic in that thing. It just feels like you got your money's worth. And even though it didn't portray over in the videos as well, like the luxury in it, I saw a lot of videos that say, dude, that looks like such a cheap interior. Honestly, all black, it kind of looks a little bit cheap, and you can't see a lot of the lines and everything, and you can't feel clearly on YouTube. So if you get to sit in it and you're like, holy crap, these seats are super comfortable, and then you shut the door of the GX and it's like, it just shuts really hard, and you're like, dang. Tap the windows like I always do, and they're a nice acoustic glass. You feel that steering wheel and stuff, and all the leather surrounding like on the center console. It feels premium. So yeah, I would pick a GX every single time over a Sequoia after owning a Sequoia. I would still do that. Ian says, so it seems like the big deciding factor between the two will be fuel mileage, Land Cruiser versus GX. And I'm fairly certain also that the GX has premium, but I think it says recommended. So people are saying like it said required, but I was fairly certain it said recommended. So if I got a GX, honestly, I'd probably just put regular gas in it. I see it the same as the Tundra motor, but maybe that would be the wrong thing to do. I don't know. We'll see. But you also got to keep that in mind, is they may have tuned it for regular or premium gas. But at the same time, if you're looking at GX and cross-shopping Land Cruiser, you're probably upwards in that $70,000 one anyways. Premium gas to a person like that, it may not be that big of an issue. But yes, MPG-wise, the Land Cruiser gets 5 more MPG than the GX does. But there is a GX hybrid coming, so I'm not sure if they're going to use a 3.4 hybrid like the Tundra and Sequoia, or if they're going to do the 2.4 and it'll get the same fuel economy as this Land Cruiser does. Hallow says with the original MPG that they said for the Land Cruiser will have, and now being way less, I think that the MPG on the Tacoma hybrid will not be as much better than the gasoline. I was really hoping for 27. So I think that was just a typo, honestly. And I don't think that portrayed that well in my video when I talked about it this morning. But like super briefly, Toyota had 27 on that website and then they took it away. So I mean, like if it was that, then they would have just left it, right? But I think they copied and pasted a little bit of the Grand Highlander's Hybrid Max information, like for that, and because it's the same 2.4, right, with truck duty cycling, but online they don't say all that stuff. So I think they copied and pasted some Grand Highlander stuff, because if you look at the Grand Highlander, it's 27 miles per gallon combined. So that I kind of believe that, because once multiple creators, me, TFL, a couple others, made 27 miles per gallon about that, it went away. It went away like literally the next day. It was gone from the internet. So I think someone didn't proofread something and left it there, unfortunately, at Toyota. But the crazy thing is even Rutledge Wood at SEMA, he said that the Land Cruiser combined was going to get 27, and it did not. It got 25. But maybe at the time they were saying that it would get 27, and then when the EPA did all their stuff and Toyota, you know, had to do actual like more testing, maybe it dropped a little bit. We don't know. But yeah, 27 combined is way lower than the 25 or 23 combined, and I get that. Lenny says, I have a new, all right, we're gonna, I believe that the new warranty is 4 years for Lexus. I know Toyota's 3 years, 60,000 miles, I think. The dealerships around me, they weirdly all do lifetime warranties, powertrain, as long as you're the owner though, which is actually really cool. Live in North Dakota, so windy here, can't complain about this winter though, mildest that I remember. That's crazy. Ours is so cold here. Like, it's not cold, it's just consistently not warm. So like usually we'd get like a couple days cold snap and it goes back up into like high 60s, kind of 70s, and then like you'll get a cold snap and then it dips back up. Like it's just been like consistently cold here, and I don't understand. Shorty says, how is your Tundra holding up? Any new issues? No issues at all. After they replaced the seals, the wind noise is a little bit worse, but I'm okay with it for now. I'm okay with it for now. They forgot to test it with American butts. I don't know. Some of those engineers, they're big old dudes, you know. They sit in the trucks a lot and stuff, and they're hard working and stuff, and they don't get to the gym as often as I'm sure that they would like. Not talking crap about them, but there are some bigger dudes for sure. But yeah. It's fine. Yeah, not that you want to hear it drop, or yeah, that is true. But yeah, and that's why I got rid of the Sequoia, you know? I mean, granted, I sold the Sequoia when the market was still stupid for them. I was lucky to get it at MSRP at a dealership, and someone wanted the Sequoia more than I wanted it, you know? So that was literally why I probably won't buy a Sequoia again, is just because after having it was just fine. Like the powertrain, it was a boss. When it started up, that TRD exhaust, even though it was a V6, sounded dope. But at $80,000, yeah, bro, it was just fine. It was just fine. Likely a limited hybrid Sequoia, and that's why I asked. The GX 550 Overtrail just has worse gas mileage because no hybrid. Thanks for that. Of course. Yeah, and if it wasn't the answer you wanted, I'm sorry. I mean, like, the Sequoia is fine, like I've said a million times now. But that limited, you know, at least it's not crazy high TRD Pro price, and that's just where I saw the Sequoia compared to like a a GX, but maybe Sequoia for now. And then when the GX gets the hybrid, maybe test drive the Land Cruiser. And if the GX gets the same hybrid, then maybe migrate over there because it'll be better gas mileage for sure. Since you've seen both the GX and Land Cruiser now, how would you compare the hybrid battery pack hump to the folded third row? So I feel like it stands up maybe 3 inches higher. The folded third row goes completely flat into the floor. Like there's almost no change from what I remember, just because the way those seats fold down, you can't even tell like that there's a seat there. The hump, you can tell that it's there. Hani, how's it going? It says, first time here. I'm importing a Land Cruiser 2021. What do you recommend? Thanks. Well, I recommend you email me, bluetrdjohn@gmail.com, and tell me how the heck you are importing the Land Cruiser. If you're in the United States or something like that, like, bro, let me know. Your question is 6 minutes old, so I really hope that you're still in here. Let me know, dude. I have no idea. Unless you're importing a 2021 Land Cruiser from the States to somewhere else, then I guess that's all right. Then I don't need the email. But if you're importing something into the United States, whether it's a 70 series or something like that, bro, you need to let me know. But if you're importing something from the United States to wherever you're at, you got to go with that Heritage Edition, man. It's worth a lot of money. It's a collector's piece. It is one of the last Land Cruisers that they made. So I would definitely do the Heritage Edition Land Cruiser. All right, if you guys can just pause on the questions, I'm going to finish up everyone else's because we just hit 2 hours. I appreciate everyone. And I'm just going to go through these last bit of questions right now, and then we'll wrap up. So thank you, guys. David says, greetings to all of you from Aurora, Colorado. I presently am driving a Chevy Spark. Tired now being to drive it in the flooded streets and snow on the roads. Yeah, so the crazy thing is when I was in Alaska, a lot of people had front-wheel drive cars. They got down out there, but yeah, that's crazy. A Chevy Spark, that is not a big car, David, to be out there in snow and stuff. So definitely be safe in that one. David says, another David says, I wonder if the Tacoma will have as many issues as the new Tundra has. To be honest, man, I have high hopes for it. I don't think it will, but never say never, you know? It's nearing the price of a fully loaded actual Land Cruiser. That is very true, because those by the time the Land Cruiser was done, I think a Land Cruiser was starting at like 83, 84, something like that. So it's getting there. You're talking with Cordetti. What radio is in the 4Runner right now? I still have the Trail Grid radio in there right now, the Sony 8100. And for some reason, my CarPlay doesn't work when plugged in. They gave me something to troubleshoot it. I just need to do it before I take it out to make sure it works so I can sell the head unit here locally. I wish I had the luxury to call that cold, dude. I know. I feel bad to say like that's cold, but for me, it's a little bit cold. Oregon Mountain Life says, I can't wait to upgrade my Scion TC to new 6th gen. First big boy purchase. Hell yeah, dude. That's awesome. I love the old Scion TCs. I think that they're so cool. When Toyota killed off that brand, like, I get it. But the Scion TC, that was such a fun little car. Are you going to buy a first edition? I don't know. I don't want to curse it. I hyped up the Tacoma a lot. And, like, I was, like, super pumped on it and stuff. And that really made me realize that a lot of stuff is not in my control, like big company stuff, purchases. And like, if I really wanted a Tacoma, I could go out tomorrow and buy a Tacoma, but I just don't want to pay insanely over MSRP for one, nor do I want to pay for, oh, sorry, I just read Hani's comment as well. I don't want to pay over MSRP because the dealership that I'm going to, they're an MSRP dealership. And also this particular Tacoma, because I was able to allocate it early with them, there are no port options or anything on it aside from floor mats. And all of the Tacomas I'm seeing right now all have $5,000 to $6,000. There are some out there, right? But not a whole lot. But they all have $5,000 to $6,000 worth of crap on them. And it's not crap. Some people may want the steps and stuff. So, but to me, it's just it's added fluff. It's added fluff. The trucks at my local dealership in Fort Walton Beach, They were at MSRP, but the MSRP was raised by $6,000 with all the extra stuff that the port put on it. Nothing on them. They're still selling at MSRP, or if you want to negotiate, maybe they'll sell it under, right? But like, so one dealership that I reached out to, they had a TRD off-road. It had the upgrade package, but it did not have the soft tech seats. It did not have a lot of the stuff that my truck is supposed to have. And it was $60,000. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. And they're like, what? I was like, because I have a premium with literally everything for like 54 or 55. And they're like, how'd you do that? I was like, it's just not built yet. Like, so yes, I get, supply and demand. I get that. But like, I'm not going to pay $60,000 for a truck that doesn't have as many features as mine does, just because of all the extra fluff that was added to it. So, where the heck was this question, bro? So first edition, I want a Land Cruiser and I also want a Sequoia, just to try it for you guys. I'll just leave it at this. The fact that the first edition is $75,000, that was a shock to me this morning. But also keep in mind that for probably a month to 2 months, the only content of people owning Land Cruisers will be the first edition, because that's all they're going to make. The first couple orders are only first editions per the Facebook page, right? Like, that's what the Land Cruisers are going to be. The only orders that dealerships can order are going to be first edition. So I'll just leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money, honestly. I was not expecting it to be that much, truly. B Surf Chillin says, I'll wait then. If it's smaller like this, like some guests, I don't not do it. If it's larger like the LC 300 hybrid, then yes. So holding my breath, gotcha. And then Hani says, I am still here, as in the chat. He says, I'm importing from Dubai. So you're importing from Dubai to here. Dude, let me know. If you can email me, BLUETRDJON@gmail.com, and just let me know what you're doing and how you're doing it, because I would really like to import a 70 series. And Florida, I mentioned this like almost in every live stream for the last couple live streams. Florida is very lax with a lot of things and how you could import a particular vehicle here. And I think with doing the YouTube, I could do it as like a display kind of showcase vehicle and stuff too. So I really, really like the new 70 series. It's like a taste of old school with modern stuff in it. So I'm curious how you're importing it. No worries, man. No worries. You guys were awesome. Not really. I think No More Games squeezed the comment in there, and a couple of you did, but everyone else held out. So No More Games is the last person. I appreciate you guys. Armando says, in Europe, only the 2.8 diesel engine will be sold. Let's hope which models reaches Latin America. Good luck with that hybrid engine for the LC250s. Greetings from Colombia. Heck yeah. Yeah, the diesels are cool because you guys get 3 rows as well for the new Land Cruiser out there. And that new diesel has been pretty stout. I think that's the same diesel that they put in the 70 series. I'm not 100% sure, but people that have been driving the 70 series, they really like it. Aldo says, what's up, John? Any plans for when you pass Mr. Beast on subscriber count? Yeah, I'll wake up from that dream. But no, I appreciate it. That dude is just doing bigger things. Like, all I want, I mean, you shouldn't think small for yourself, like if you want things out of life, but like for me, it's not about the subscribers. It's more about just the people that keep coming back for the videos, because honestly, I'm guilty of it. There's people that I watch on YouTube that I know their stuff will come up, and I'm not subscribed to them, but I should just subscribe just for their numbers, right? But for me, I just want to hit 100,000. Get that plaque, hang it in the office, and then everything after that is bonus, man. But I just care about putting the content out for you guys and not doing half-ass content anymore. Just more genuine content. Like the configurator was a little bit quick just because I was like, I'm gonna do the live stream anyways, and it was just a quick 5-minute video. So just doing that blend, right? And like the Tacoma TRD off-road video, I spent some time with the editing and that stuff, and just having like the drifting and the music in the beginning of that. I don't typically do that, and a lot of you guys seem to like that video. So that was really cool. No More says, Softex is nice. I actually like that stuff almost as much as the leather in my GX. Dude, personally, I like Softex. I like it more than leather. It's so durable. All right, Super Saker, you are the last comment. I know I said that a lot, but you may have dipped out and then come back in. But you are the last comment. So if anyone else comments, I will just say thank you, but I will not read it. Ronaldo says, what do you think is a better option between the 550 Overtrail and Land Cruiser First Edition with everything? I would take a normal Overtrail GX every day over the Land Cruiser. I think that you're saving like $3,000 and you get a better engine, but you don't get all the luxury features. But I would be totally fine with the Overtrail. And I feel like the Overtrail is gonna weirdly hold its value for the GX. I feel like it's kind of be like the TRD Pro. Super says, I'm honestly waiting for an LX700H. Also, what are your thoughts on the Sentry SUV? Man, I love the Sentry SUV. It's so cool. I wish we got it here. And yeah, a hybrid version of the LX. I'm not sure if that's what they're gonna call it if it ever comes out or whatever. But I'm curious if they're gonna go more performance-based for it or MPG. That'd be sweet. Oh, and the new Armada and QX80, which is gonna launch sometime this year. So I accidentally made a teaser about that because I thought it was the Forerunner from the intel that I had, but turns out it wasn't. Those vehicles are so old, and they really need a redesign. So I'm super excited for that. But guys, I appreciate everyone coming in. Thank you. We talked about Forerunner stuff. I will make a prediction video onto when I think that will be released, or like what we can talk about that. Tacoma MPG, now that we have Land Cruiser stuff. And it was just fun to go over everything again with you guys. And we have been consistent with having the live streams on Tuesdays. So before you guys head out, if you could just hit the like button, that way other subscribers know that we do these live streams, I'd appreciate it. And you guys have a great night and a great rest. Dude, I need water before hold on. And a great rest of your week. All right, guys, see you later. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you all.